Greetings. I'm just waking up and I'm hearing the words "we blew up our planet," and I'm getting confirmations in real time that a remote view I did on the planet is accurate, that the planet does not look like it's being shown to us as a sphere or a perfect sphere. And I'll roll in a clip of that remote view that I did because I feel like the ancestors are awakening us to this information, and that this information is going to be part of the great awakening for many people. I've been receiving impressions for many years that the view of Earth as it's been presented to us is a deception. I can clearly see some type of lens or filter over the planet that's making it look round. If we could see the planet as it actually appears, my sense is that we would see the destruction. We are being deceived, and we are also being pushed to like a corner of or a region, and we're isolated here in this region. Now, the Earth is a lot bigger than what they've told us it is. There's many regions, and some of these regions are very advanced technologically, and we're pushed into a certain section or a region where we're not advanced at all. We're almost just one step away from the Stone Ages, actually. And there's many reasons for this, but what I've been receiving is that the reason that we're pushed into this non-tech world is because we're in a region that's considered a farm, and it's a resource farm. I won't get off too deep into it, but this is the impressions that I'm receiving. I'm also getting that this deception is so massive that it's mind shattering. Part of the reason that it's been allowed to persist for so long is because of the fragility of the consciousness of the mass population. If they were to know all of these things simultaneously, it would shatter their existence, and it would also compromise the program that is being supported by the ancestors to heal us. It would be counterproductive for a mass population to awaken too quickly, but subtly we must come to these truths to fully awaken. And now I'm beginning to get the confirmations in real time that information is going to begin to come forward about the true condition of Earth as it relates to the deceptions that have been occurring to keep us locked into certain states of consciousness where we're not truly aware. For those of you that are hearing this message, it's meant for you to receive this knowledge and to be able to vibrate and radiate this frequency of truth as it begins to enter into the awareness of our collective consciousness. The ancestors are saying that we blew up our planet through the misuse of technology, and we're part of a massive global healing project. We exist in a type of spiritual intensive care unit. However, we are beginning to heal, and many of us are beginning to awaken to this truth, which will answer many questions to our existence. And it will finally answer once and for all who we are and why we are here And also, where did we come from? The ancestors say that we come from many star systems and we migrated here after many cosmic wars. They say that for those of us that came here to help with this healing project, we incarnated with the understanding that we would lose consciousness simply because we had to match the frequency of our ancestors who destroyed themselves and are in a state of spiritual amnesia. In order to help resuscitate them, we must match their vibration, frequency, and state of consciousness because they don't remember who they are. As we synchronize with their consciousness, we actually activate them through a resonant frequency, vibration. It's a type of mirroring effect. Through mirroring, we can resuscitate them. Many are being resuscitated at this time as part of our global planetary healing project. I will now roll in the clip of the remote view of the broken planet. This reading is on the shape of the earth, and I'm asking the ancestors to explain to me why we are not being shown an actual image of the earth. And if the earth is not completely round, why are we not being shown the actual shape of the planet? In the first column, they're absolutely showing me that this is an attempt to keep us asleep and keep us from awakening to a whole different reality. So there's something about knowing and seeing the actual earth and its shape that would profoundly awaken us to a whole new level of reality. I'm also seeing a vision of the earth and how it's positioned in space, and it feels like seeing how it actually looks would awaken us to some reality or something to the effect of how precious the earth is, how significant it is. It's obviously something different about it in comparison to other bodies in space. In the next column, I'm picking up something to the extent that the earth has the ability to communicate with us. And if this awakening was to occur, that line of communication would also become open to us, and we'd be able to connect to the earth in a more intelligent way, and we'd be more knowledgeable about our relationship and our connection to the earth. We'd be more proactive in how we think. And so it's something about looking at a false image of the earth keeps us asleep and keeps us disconnected from the planet, and it blocks us from communicating with the planet in a way that keeps us dumb, disconnected, and asleep. In the next column, I'm picking up power and control of the planet, and I'm also picking up something that feels like war. I'm really feeling like there was some war that happened in the past, and our ancestors became prisoners of this war, and that since that time we've been subject to some alien control power that never wants us to know who our ancestors are and how we connect to the planet and how we relate to the planet. I'm also picking up royalty here. There's some type of royal connection to the planet. The planet has some type of royalty surrounding it. Perhaps something like at the time that the planet was invaded, the royal families and the royal people of the planet were taken, and their heritage were taken away, their descendants were taken away, as a great separation occurred. And something about this royal family has the ability to communicate with the planet is giving me Avatar vibes, how the people were connected to the planet. It feels like our ancestors were that way as well. And if we were to awaken to our ability to be able to connect to the planet in that way, it would restore our royalty and what in our inheritance, our ability to be empowered and be back into a position of power. And so it's something about us not being able to know about our planet that keeps us in the dark and keeps us under control. In the next column, I'm seeing something to the effect that something that happened to the planet in the past would be noticeable if you were to see it externally, like from space. If you were to see the planet from space, there's some external feature to the planet that is noticeable and that would need to be explained. So it's something off, or I wouldn't say wrong, but definitely something peculiar, something very different, something very odd about it that would awaken us to something that happened before. It could be something to do with this war. It feels like the planet was salvaged and after this war, and it was damaged, maybe. And this is perceivable from space. Something very off about it. So I'm also getting confirmations about this war. This has something to do with a war that happened in the past. Knowledge of this war has been hidden from us. And if we saw the planet from the external perspective, it might awaken us to something that happened in the past, that maybe you can tell that there was a war here. I'm also picking up something about cellular memory. Some of us are reincarnated from that time period, and that if we were to see the planet, it could remind us of what happened and awaken us that way. And so this is an attempt to hide that memory from us and to keep us subdued. In the next column, they're showing me that the truth is going to come out about this. And so in a very powerful way, it feels like the ancestors are wanting us to know about this and to awaken to this. And this is a major power move for us. Being able to understand who we are in the galaxy, our connection to the planet, and being able to get out from underneath this control feature that's lying to us about all of this is absolutely coming to an end. And that we're going to be reunited with the rest of the galaxy and the universe, and that our knowledge of our history is going to be restored to us, and that we're going to be reunified with our ancestors and with our star family here. In the last column, the ancestors are showing me that we should always ask questions, and by asking questions like this, we actually activate that knowledge to come forward, and it drives us forward towards the truth. And that this darkness and these lies and everything that we've suffered throughout all of our generations is coming to an end. And that it was our destiny to know the truth. And because we're asking questions and we're seeking truth and knowledge, that leads us back home. And so that's what I'm getting in this reading. I wasn't expecting this at all. But Yeah, we're prisoners of war, guys. That's what's going on down here. And it's about to be over very, very soon. The planet doesn't look like what they're showing it to us as. It looks very different. And if we were to see that, how it actually looks, it would awaken us. Some of us were here at the time that these wars took place, and we would start to have flashbacks and memories of what happened to the planet and why it looks the way that it looks. I don't know exactly how it looks. I just know it doesn't look like a perfectly round circle that they keep showing to us. It looks very different than that. And while I'm saying that, I honestly believe that there is a sun in the center of the earth and they don't want us to know about it. And I also do believe that the earth is hollow. And I do believe that there are entrances or openings at the poles. And I also believe that what we've been seeing with that halo around the sun is a reflection of that hole and the central sun being shown is what that is. It's some type of reflection of that hole and that light that's coming out from the center. And that's what I'm getting.